What up, everybody? Doing back, and yes, there is a lot of news that we're going to try and cover as fast as we can in this video. So, number one, let's talk about some of the concept art that was released for this movie. It is pretty cool. So here we got Godzilla destroying a city. Here's the aftermath of the destruction, a big footprint of him. Here's him in the city. Here's him using or charging up his purple atomic breath. So that's all cool. And here's the cool ad. It's an upper body shot of Shin Gojira. It's pretty cool. Also, in other news, there was a big red carpet event. I believe it was last night for the movie. It's pretty cool. Look how huge that carpet is. I did watch some of the live footage online. It seems pretty cool, but I do have worries for the movie that we're going to talk about now. Now, this picture has been floating around online a lot recently, like within the past 2 days or so. This has been everywhere, and needless to say,
I'm triggered.
yeah. So I'm not happy about this. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, well, what is it exactly that we're looking at? Well, supposedly, this is Godzilla's second form. Remember how before we even got the movie released, we got the news that Godzilla would have 2 or 3 forms in the movie, and a lot of us were like, oh, he's regenerating. That's what that means. And then we heard nothing more on it. Now, take this next bit of information with a grain of salt. A lot of people have been claiming this has been proved to be false, or it's been like debunked or whatever, but they have provided no evidence. No one has provided any evidence for what this could be. So hopefully one of you guys in the comments can tell me what this is and clear it all up. That way, I'm not worried about it until I see the movie. So here's where the news comes from. The news that I'm talking about is coming straight from Shirunk.com. If you guys are like, whoa, what's Shirunk? That sounds dumb. That's just the sound effects noise they use in the Godzilla comics from IDW. Anyways, this has been taking info from multiple sources to kind of formulate their kind of opinion on what this is. And most notably is number one, the soundtrack title from the actual Shin Gojira soundtrack, which is Landing/Evolution. This is supposedly one of the song titles that has been released. Now, at first you'd think, okay, he's gonna land and then he'll regenerate a little bit, or at least that's what I would have thought had I not been hearing it in this context. Now, supposedly, Godzilla is going to start out in this slug form and consume organic material, which is why Anno Hideki has recently stated Godzilla is a fusion of all living things on Earth, is because this little slug will be absorbing organic material and evolving into Godzilla. Some of the things that help debunk this right off the bat are the fact that in the trailer, Godzilla does not land and then evolve. We see Godzilla from far out in the sea, at least. That's not in the trailer, but that is in the Toho press conference thing they just did. If you guys want to see the footage of that, I'll leave a link in the description to the all Shin Gojira scenes put together that I did, because that shows it at the beginning, and it shows pretty much how that part's going to go. So we know that he won't land and evolve. So if by landing/evolution it means in the water he'll turn into Godzilla and then come on land, okay, I could see that. Now, I'm pretty mad about this, if this is true. Once again, take it with a grain of salt. There's no proof that it's true or proof that it's not true. We're just going off what we can tell, or what we have so far. So, the slug, it looks ridiculous. I can't imagine this thing being Godzilla. They said they were going to take Godzilla back to his dark roots, and I don't think that this is what they that this is. I guarantee this is not what Honda meant for it, what Tanaka meant for it. Tanaka's the founder of Godzilla, really. I guarantee this isn't. So when they say they're taking it back to the dark or to the roots of Godzilla, they could mean the dark, gritty storytelling, but all of us assumed they meant the nuclear allegory horror kind of feel. But in this case, if this is true, that he's going to start out a slug, we all know that's fake. We all know that's not true, that they're not taking it back to their roots. They're just doing something completely dumb with it. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't think this is a good idea. This is also the slug theory is aided by the fact that if you look on the bottom of this banner or on the bottom of this plaque here, you see it says Shin Gojira 2, and then a couple words afterward that I can't make out. So I'm assuming that might, if this is true, that might say Shin Gojira's second form. That's my guess. So I don't know. This is one of the dumbest things I've heard in a long time. If this is true, this is one of the dumbest things. This is probably the dumbest thing they've ever done with Godzilla, in my opinion. I don't think that this works. I think that this is just a huge misstep. Making him a slug is like if you made King Kong a pterodactyl at the beginning of the movie and then he turned into a gorilla. It doesn't work. I think it's really a terrible choice. The other thing that people have been saying that might help this theory out, or help out people like me who hate this, is, well, what if it's not Godzilla's second form in terms of what he evolves into, or what evolves into him? What if it's what he evolves into? And some of you may be like, whoa, he'd shrink into that? Here's the way the theory goes. Something will happen to Godzilla at the end of this movie and he'll die. Something that A, will be like an oxygen destroyer, or maybe they'll just nuke him and he'll die. So there's a lot of speculation on Godzilla's death. Now, what if this slug thing is Godzilla's heart, just like in GMK, or it's some sort of organ from his body that will slowly regenerate back into Godzilla? I'd be fine with that. I would actually like that, because it would end the movie off well, it'd kill Godzilla off, and, if you want a happy ending, that's pretty much what you're going to have to do. And it would open up the door for sequels with Godzilla regenerating from that, which is the same thing GMK did. GMK never got a sequel. So, yeah, if this is true, if this is what Godzilla's first form is, I think it's one of the worst things ever, because it really is almost a ripoff of Godzilla vs. Hedorah, where Hedorah starts out as a mutant slug from outer space, or he starts out as a tadpole, and then he evolves. He consumes so much pollution that he turns into Hedorah, the kaiju. Now, this tadpole thing, or slug thing is what I've been calling it, because, it's a sluggish thing. If this thing consumes so much organic material, then it turns into Godzilla. I just think it's such a bad choice. The other things that aid this theory that this is true would be the fact that if you look at Godzilla at the end of his tail, there's clearly stuff fused into it. There's clearly bone morphed into it, which a lot of us thought that was just a side effect of the nuclear bomb going off, or whatever deforms Godzilla. Organic material would be meshed into him because of a side effect of the huge explosion or whatever. But it possibly turns out, that it's because this slug snail-looking thing just consumed so much material that it turned into Godzilla, which is, like I keep saying, a terrible choice. I don't want them to do this. But like I said, it's probably fake. Hopefully it's fake. Anyways, guys, that does it for this update. Hope you all enjoyed. I want to know what you guys think about this whole slug thing, or tadpole thing. If it's real or fake, let me know down below. I would like to know, and I know a lot of you guys would too. So, thank you guys all for watching. D-Man out.
I'm triggered.